Welcome back to Mid Morning. Well, you might not expect to see armadillos in Kentucky, but the sightings are on the rise.
UK graduate student Olivia O'Hearn joins us to talk about the research behind this unusual trend and how you can help. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Yeah, thank you all for having me.
Absolutely. So where did the interest from this project come from?
So originally my professor, Dr. John Cox, had brought this to my attention. And it's just kind of a phenomenon that hasn't really been researched too much in Kentucky. There's really no published research on armadillos yet, so we're trying to be one of the first ones to get out there and do a little bit on it.
So their territory has been expanding. How does your research play into that?
So the armadillos originally came from Central America to the U.S. around 1850, and they've been expanding in the southeastern U.S. ever since, and especially in recent decades in Kentucky. I've got over 200 recorded sightings from Kentucky Fish and Wildlife since about 1980. And we've been doing our own research as well, just going out trying to find them, and I've found almost 50 at this point, so
wow.
Yeah.
And they're kind of all over the state, right?
They're mostly just in western Kentucky, but I will say in recent months we've actually seen them all as far as Lexington. So
you said there was one found dead on South Broadway?
Yes,
yeah.
On South Broadway in June. Yes, that was our most recent one.
That's crazy.
Now, if somebody sees an armadillo out and about, what should they do?
My best advice is just leave them be. They're really harmless creatures, aside from carrying leprosy.
Okay, so
that's the only thing, but that's also a reason why you should just leave them be. They're really harmless. The most that they'll do is just dig up your yard. They like to keep burrows and dig for bugs to eat.
And then the email we've got up there, KentuckyArmadillo@gmail.com. You also want people to report the sightings?
Yes, please. So this is an ongoing research project, and we are still collecting data from community outreach. And if anyone does see an armadillo, obviously don't go up and, get too close to it, but if you'd be willing to share any photos and locality information, it would be a great help to us.
What's your overall goal for this study?
So basically what we're trying to accomplish is just the characterization of the armadillo's range in Kentucky, because it's never been exactly studied before. And we're also just trying to determine the leprosy presence within our population here in the state.
That makes sense. Do they have to be in a warm climate? Obviously, we've got some warm months, but then things turn around.
Not necessarily. I will say, from the research that I have read, armadillos are typically limited by the minimum winter temperature in terms of how far they can expand their range. So as long as they can dig in the ground's not too hard in the winter to where they can't get bugs to eat, then they can pretty much survive. They're very good habitat generalists. They do well in rural, urban areas. They're pretty much like a raccoon,
All right.
So interesting. Yeah. Thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Of course. Thank you. I appreciate it.